Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today, tonight, whenever you're watching? Thank you for being here at the Kingdom Builders Credit Repair TV show and podcast. Listen, we are so glad that you are here. Today, we are going to be talking about how to fully be prepared for the holiday season with your credit. Listen, your credit and finances are so important, and we just want to make sure that you understand exactly how to get in where you fit in with your credit. So listen, every single week we come on live to you to talk to you about credit and financial tips with yours truly. If you don't know who I am, my name is Michelle Green, also known as KB Michelle Green, and I am so elated that God has gifted me in this skill, gift, and talent with finances, with money, with credit, and so many other different things that He has put in my heart. So we come on every day to educate you, to give you a message, to give you some tips, some secrets, some strategies on how to figure out how to play this credit game. That's right. How do you play the credit game? That is what it's all about. And if you don't know how to play the credit game, guess what? You won't be able to win at the credit game. So we want to make sure that you are winning, that you are winning every single day, that you are winning as it relates to your credit, as it relates to your finances. How you manage your money is everything. Okay. Now, every week we come on live to share with you what credit is, just in case there's somebody out there watching and trying to figure out, I don't really know a whole lot about credit. So can you just break down in the simplest term what credit is? Your credit is the ability for you to be able to go and borrow money that you don't have right now so that a financial institution of some sort will be able to lend you the money based on your reputation, based on how well you pay people back, based on really your word. And your word is everything. As they say back in the day, your word is your bond. Listen, your word is really your bond as it relates to you being able to have a really good credit score. Credit scores range between 300 and 850. That is the real myfico.com credit score. And again, myfico, if you're listening, listen. Let's go ahead and do a deal so that we, as Kingdom Builders Credit Repair, can get in a deal with you because we are constantly advertising your business. Listen. So this is not a paid subscription, although it could be. My FICO. Just let us know something, okay? Hey, all right. But anywho, the point is that if you are thinking about credit and you don't really fully understand what credit is, simplest way to understand what credit is the ability for you when you don't have enough money right now to be able to go to a lender or some type of financial institution and borrow the money so that you can pay it back over a short period or a long period of time. Actually, we don't really want to engage too much into short period of times as it relates to paying our loans or our credit cards back. What we do want is a minimum of a 2-year timeline on how long it takes for us to actually see some progress on our credit to prove that we are worthy of even more credit. So you want to start out the journey of being a person who is actually obtaining credit and getting your finances together by starting out with a bank or a credit union or some type of creditor that provides the particular services or products that you need, such as a mortgage, such as a vehicle loan, such as a credit card company, or if you're looking for furniture or if you're looking for a personal loan, you want to specify the financial institution that is going to provide that information for you. So, what we want to do today is we want to get into the topic subject matter of how to fully be prepared for the holidays. The holidays are coming up soon, and many of us don't really understand that as it relates to our holidays coming up, that we really should be thinking about how we're going to manage our credit and finances right now so that when we get to the stage of being in the actual holiday season, we are not crying about, oh my God, I don't have enough money to actually manage my credit. I don't have enough money to pay for the things for the holidays, in addition to the things that I have every single month. We don't want to get into a bind where we are lacking in food, where we're lacking in shelter, where we have decided not to pay our mortgage or not to pay our rents. We don't want to get in a situation to where we are we are sacrificing things that are basic living expenses, is what we call it here. So our BLE, our basic living expenses, are things that we have to have, things that we have to pay every single 30 days, and even some of the things that we don't have to pay every 30 days, but some of the things that we still have to pay over a period of time that are a necessity. So I want us to understand that as it relates to our finances, as it relates to our credit, that we got to understand how to start preparing. Just like we meal prep, we need to financial prep. We need to make sure that we are prepping for our finances before the holidays hit, because we are going to be involved in different activities. We're going to want to travel. We're going to need some traveling money. We are also going to need to have like food and different places to stay, possibly if we're traveling out of town to family members or friends' houses for friendsgivings or for Christmas. Listen, we need to begin to set aside some money and understand how to prepare our credit for later on this year. So, when it relates to our finances, and when it relates to our credit, one of the major things that we want to do is, number one, understand how much money do you actually need before you get to the holidays. So how much money do you actually need before you even get to the point where you are preparing for the holiday? Do you need $500 for Christmas? Do you need $500 for Thanksgiving? Do you need 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000? So regardless of how much money you need, what we need to do first is assess the whole situation around our holidays. Okay, so how much money do you need first? And then let's break down the money that you need for the holidays. So, whatever your number is, let's divide it by 120 days. Now, even though we have a little bit more than 120 days for the remaining of the year, what we want to understand is that regardless of when you start, even if you didn't get a chance to start yet to prepare for holidays, you can start right now. No matter what day it is, you can still start right now. So if we take $1,000, for example, and we say that $1,000 is what we're going to need by the end of December or Christmas time, 25th, December 25th, then what we want to do is divide that $1,000 by 120. If we got 120 days left, we're going to divide that $1,000. And it tells us that every single day, if we can save $8.33, then we will have the money for our holiday season. We wouldn't have to go into like a situation where we're struggling and robbing Peter to pay Paul and John and Moses and everybody else. We would have the opportunity to actually pay our regular bills. And we will have the opportunity to do what? Take care of the things for our holidays. That's what we want. We want the opportunity to be able to take care of whatever it is that we need for the holiday season. So I want you to really begin to start planning and thinking about how much money do you actually need in order to fulfill all the things that you want to do for the holiday season coming up. So we got a lot of different things that are coming up. You're always going to have so many different opportunities to go here, to go there, to eat, to visit people, to get with friends, get with family members. And you want to also understand that as it relates to finances and credit, that you have to prepare your credit. What do I mean by preparing your credit? What I mean is this: let's get in a mindset to think about how quickly or easily that we can begin to pay down some debt. Can we begin to pay something in advance for the next 120 days? Can we decide that instead of us paying a monthly payment on our insurance policies, or if we are paying the utility bill, the water bill, the light bill, then can we pay those things in advance? It's only 4 months away. So a little over 4 months away, and we haven't started anything yet. So to avoid the cycle of going into debt, borrowing money, and doing all of these different things that are not necessary for us to do, what I want us to think about is really, how much money are you making? And can you really afford to put aside anywhere from $5 to $10 every day? That's right. If you calculate, if you're getting paid every week, if you're getting paid every 2 weeks, then calculate how much it would be if you saved the $8.33 for the matter of 2 weeks. So that's what we're talking about to get prepared. Now, when we talk about getting prepared for the credit, we want to see that we have bills, we have debts that we can actually pay down. So when it comes to utilities, you know that at KBCR, we do not believe that your utilities and your credit are the same thing. We break those down into two separate categories. And what we want you to understand is that as you're preparing your credit for the holidays, you need to make sure that you are paying your balances down as much as possible. So if you have an outstanding balance on credit cards, or if you're used to just paying the bare minimum monthly payment on debt, then I want you to start thinking about how can you possibly maybe even pay something off if it's multiple credit cards that you have. I want you to see if you can pay it down. I want you to see if you can pay it down to just like a bare minimum, like $5 to $10, and then you will have the opportunity to be able to use the card later on without going to the store, buying stuff for Christmas and for other holidays, and deciding that you're going to apply for that card on the spot. See, you got to take control, because what's going to happen in the holiday season is the credit card companies, the creditors, the lenders, they're going to amp up the opportunity for you to apply for credit. Some of you think that this is like the best thing since sliced bread, but by the time that January, February, and March hits, you are over there crying like a baby because you're trying to figure out, like, how did you get yourself into all of this debt? So I'm here to try to help you to understand that you don't have to be indebted. You can actually literally prepare yourself by thinking about who is it that you owe. Let's get into the Kingdom Builders Credit Repair Program so that we can lay out for you every single thing that you are paying for. Let's break down all of the debts and let's look at what your balances actually are. And once we look at your balances on your credit, on the things that are on your credit, then we can actually literally put together a strategy that is going to help you to either pay it down or to pay it off. Now, with credit cards, because they are revolving lines of credit, we know that we never want to pay off a credit card fully, because the reason why you get the opportunity to gain so many points from a credit card is simply because it is a revolving type of debt. It's a revolving type of debt, meaning that you're always going to have the opportunity to go back and get more credit from the credit card if you use it properly. But if you are not using it properly, then you're not going to be able to use it anymore, because maybe you maxed it out. And especially those of us who are going over our 30%, it gets out of control when we decide to use our credit cards past the 30%. So that's why there is a rule of thumb to say that you should never be going over your 30% marker. This also is something that happens when we look at the lenders and the creditors. What they do when they look at your credit, they're judging you based on how well you manage the debt that they gave you. So if you decide to go over every single time and you are maxing out your credit cards, you're maxing out your department store cards, and you're applying for new credit, then by time January hits and February and March, then you're in a pickle because of what you decided to do right now today. So I'm here to help you to understand that you don't have to get any more credit cards. Even though the credit card companies and the department store companies and the personal loan companies, the vehicle loan companies, everybody is going to push in the next few months for you to get more debt. They're going to push for you to be indebted a whole lot more than you are right now. And that's why this is the best time of the year for you to get into the KBCR program. Why would you wait until the new year when everything is a mess? Let's get ahead of the ball game right now today, so that by the time January, February, March hits, and even by the time the holiday season gets here, you already strategize, so you don't need to add anything. You can boldly tell the lender or creditor at that that shopping store that you love to go to, that no, you don't want to apply for a credit card because you already got your credit managed. That's what we want to do. We want to be prepared. We want to be prepared. Don't you want to get out of the cycle of having to pay down so much debt after the holiday season? Don't you want to feel comfortable when Thanksgiving comes up and you want to be able to eat all that you want to eat and be comfortable with having to choose whether you want to go back to work the next day? Listen, we want to get ahead of the holidays by taking action today instead of waiting. And listen, did you know that at Kingdom Builders Credit Repair, we also offer what is called the official Financial Dominion Masterclass, honey? And when I say this is a masterclass where you learn how to master your finances, we ain't talking about just your finances. We're talking about your credit. We're talking about your finances. We're talking about things that people don't normally talk about as it relates to how to get your finances together. So, what we do in the Financial Dominion Masterclass, combined with the credit repair services, is we help you to fully take care of your financial and credit portfolio. We make sure that you are set for life. Talking about your taxes, talking about your insurances, taking care of your investments, your savings accounts, helping you to understand how to budget properly based on your specific situation. Because, see, everybody is not the same when it comes to finances. We don't all make the same amount of money and we don't manage our money the same way. So, you need to be in the Financial Dominion Masterclass so that we can break down every single financial piece of your life. We can break down all of your credit and you can do a combo deal right now today. And listen, all you got to do is just pick up the phone and call us 844-522-7552, or you can even go and email us at info@kbcrllc.com. Listen, you can even reach out through our website. Just click on that last top button, put in your information, and we'll be glad to get into a phone call strategy session with you. That's right. We will be glad to help you to get your finances together. We got to prepare, y'all. We cannot continue to decide that every single time that we're just going to allow finances to take control of our life and we be indebted to a degree that we can't get out of our finances. We can't get out of the debt that we have accrued. It's our responsibility. It's time for us to grow up and stop blaming everybody else for what has happened. And it may be true that someone else caused the problem of debt for you. Maybe somebody put something in your name. I know that the original way that I even started out with credit is because my mom ran up some credit cards in my name. And by the time I turned 18, listen, this was where she was doing this when I was a kid. Now, don't tell nobody, okay? But the point was that she did have a solution to the problem. So she was trying to figure out exactly how to get my credit back on track, even though she had to use it because she was a single parent trying to raise a child and struggling and trying to figure her life out financially. Because why? Nobody tells us about how finances and credit really works. And that's what happened to lead me into even started a credit repair business in the first place. So if you are wondering some of the challenges that you might be going through personally that maybe you didn't even cause, if you're wondering how to get out of that, you need to go to Kingdom Builders Credit Repair right now and you need to sign up. Go to the website while you're listening and get into our program today, so that when the holidays come up, or just even next year, you want to go into a new year with a bang. You don't want to go into a new year with the struggle mindset, with the mindset that, okay, you're in the new year, and even though you make all of these new resolutions, that nothing happens because nothing is happening this year. So we want to make sure that you are actually progressing with your finances and with your credit. We don't want you to be like, oh my God, I got into a lot of debt last year, and now this year I'm still having to pay all this debt back. And you say that you're not going to do the same thing until the moment happens where you are faced with the decision. Are you going to go to that family occasion? Are you going to go to that friend's giving? Are you actually going to not give them a present for Christmas? Listen, these are the things that we face in the heat of the moment. And we don't need to continue to live our life in a struggle mindset, in a impoverished mindset, to wait to the last minute to try to do everything. If we would just take on the mindset of preparing, when we are preparing, it means that we are holding ourselves accountable. We are being more responsible for the things that we need to do to take care of our finances and our credit. But not just that, there are other things that you're going to learn along the way. And I'm trying to tell you, like, we're talking about a whole decision making around your entire life. I'm talking about your body, your mind, and your spirit can all be shifted and changed just by getting into the Kingdom Builders Credit Repair programs. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this is not just minimal to finances and credit. There are so many other aspects of your life that will change, and even your relationship. Are you in a marriage? Are you in a relationship where y'all are fussing about money? You're fussing about the debt that has been accrued. You're fussing because now these student loans got to be paid back. You're fussing because maybe the taxes were never filed. You're fussing because you don't understand when someone passed away what you needed to do to prepare to make sure that they were going to be all right. Listen, those are the kind of things that we will teach you at Kingdom Builders Credit Repair and in the Financial Dominion Masterclass. So why are you waiting around? You need to go ahead now and get into one of the programs or both of the programs, as a matter of fact. All right. So the other thing that I want to say about the credit is we want to focus on paying down the debt. We also want to focus on paying things ahead of time so that when the time comes, we're not trying to borrow money, go into like a title loan or a loan type that is really going to charge a lot of high interest that will end up not being paid because you overdid it. We want to make sure that you are looking at what you are earning, and if you might need to take on a second job or open up that business or just continue to do business in a different way. Did y'all know that at Kingdom Builders, the enterprise, that we have a business university that teaches you about how to do your business the right way? That's right. We teach you how to get into your business and be able to excel in your business. Maybe that is the kind of help that you need. So if it's not Kingdom Builders Credit Repair, it certainly will be Kingdom Builders Business University. So why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? Listen, get into one of our courses today so that you can stop the struggle bus. Okay, you can stop and literally get off the struggle bus because you are now taking the first step of your whole entire family to change your financial tree, to change your credit and your finances because it's a must. Listen, as it relates to credit and finances, it's really up there with oxygen. So you don't want to continue to repeat this process of telling your kids that they not going to get anything for Christmas, telling your family members that no, you can't come because you ain't got gas money to put in the car. Listen, you don't want to continue to have the mindset that you're going to fake it till you make it. You're out here and buying all of these gifts and doing all of these activities, coming to the events, the Christmas parties with a brand new dress that got a tag on it in the back, or wearing some shoes and hoping that you don't actually get any dirt on them because you're going to take them back the next day. We got to get out of that mindset, y'all, because that's not the truth about what we got going on. And even if we are making a lot of money, are you managing that money in the right places? Or are you frivolously throwing it away unknowingly? We just graduated the Financial Dominion Masterclass students, and you may have seen them floating around out there in social media streets. However, when we look at the graduates that were in that class, we had ranges from people who weren't even working to the degree that people were making 6 and 7 figure incomes. And when we talk about the Financial Dominion Masterclass, if you can bring a class together and help people to see that no matter what level they are on, that they are able to enhance their finances and their credit, then listen, that is a masterclass that you don't want to miss out on. So, yes, we are enrolling. Class will start in September on the 16th. It'll be on Wednesdays from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that is when we will begin this financial journey for you. So you got a little bit of time to go ahead and get yourself registered, enrolled today so that we can start preparing you, prepping you for the holidays, but not just for the holidays, for the rest of your life, for the rest of your life. So take away the tips. Let's first get prepared. How much money do you need for the holidays? Number two, after you figure out how much money you need for the holidays, let's divide it by 120 days that we have, a little bit over that amount of days that we have left for the remaining of the year. The next thing we want to do is we want to start setting that money aside. We want to put it in a place where we don't see it so that we don't spend it or decide that we gotta have it so that we can go do something now instead of waiting later to fulfill the obligations that we're going to have during the holiday season. The next thing we want to do is we want to pay down or pay things in advance. So we want to make sure that for the holiday season, we are paying the bills in advance. Can you pay a little something extra on the light bill? Can you pay a little bit something extra on the water bill? Can you pay a bill for the rest of the year right now because the money is flowing? And later on, you're going to need to use that money for the holiday season. And then can you pay off some debt, possibly, or can you pay down your credit card debt so that you're not in a position to where you can't use what you already got? You need to be able to use what you already got, especially those of us who do have a credit card, who do have a high or a decent type of credit limit. Let's see if we can get those limits increased, and let's see if we can manage keeping our balances low until it's time for us to obtain the holiday season cheer. Listen, for us to go into debt again for another year, another year, another year, another year, it is just really not cute anymore. It's not something that you should be doing with all of the knowledge, the information, the understanding, the education, and the mentorship, the coaching that is available to you today. We are high in on artificial intelligence, and it can share a lot of information with us, but can it put together a strategy for your specific needs? That's what we want to do. We want to implement everything that it relates to your finances and credit that can take you all the way to the top. So if you are dreaming about that 700 credit score, if you are thinking about, okay, I just want to get out of debt, I want to get my finances in order, I want to be prepared so that if anything should happen, that I know exactly what to do next, then you need to get locked in today. You need to make sure that you are locked in today to Kingdom Builders, the enterprise. Get into one of our courses, get into one of our programs. Make sure that you are connected in some way. And if you're already in there, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the Kingdom Builders family, because I'm trying to tell you that everybody that's been in our family and everybody that's been connected to us, listen, we pray for you guys. We help you guys the best of our ability. I know we do things that the average company does not do because of our heart, because we care like nobody else does. I'm trying to tell you today. So get in where you fit in. Come on over to Kingdom Builders. Let's do what we got to do to make things right for you and your family today. All right, that's all we have for today. Listen, if you learned a little something, if you took away anything from this message, make sure that you put your comment below and let us know if it's information that is beneficial to you, if you're growing by learning from these messages, because we want to have your feedback. We want to know what it is that is happening in your life to making things change and making things better. So don't hesitate to engage with us. We want the engagement. We want to know what you're going through, what you're dealing with, so that we can come up with a solution together with you. All right, guys, listen, that's all we have today. Make sure that you are subscribed to the Kingdom Builders Credit Repair TV show and podcast. We are on YouTube. We are pretty much everywhere that there is social media. And we want to make sure that you never miss another episode. So make sure you click that little bell at the top of the page where it notifies you every time we go live. So that way you'll never ever miss another episode of the Kingdom Builders Credit Repair TV show and podcast, where we care about you. Okay? Financially, we are having we are empowering you to have financial dominion on purpose every single day, every single way that we possibly can. So thank you guys for watching again. Get subscribed, share this message with a friend, a family member, or whoever that you know that needs this information, including you. Okay? All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.